You know, it really is an uncertain time for all of us. When will this pandemic end? What change is coming next? Right now, it's students. They're dealing with their latest challenge, heading into virtual schooling in the fall semester. WMAR 2 News' Aaron McPherson found out how this can impact students of all ages and what you can do to help. Aaron?
Students are impacted differently based on their level of development. A kindergartner is going to have different needs than a high schooler, but both can feel the anxiety or stress of this uncertainty.
School traditions, activities, is a way to feel connected with our peers.
A connection that's lost for students with virtual learning, especially those transitioning into the next level of education.
That child who is entering kindergarten, that child who is entering middle school or high school, they don't have that pre-existing social infrastructure there.
Dr. Anthony Chico is the medical director of emergency psychiatry at GBMC. He says this time may be easier for students who have already developed relationships in school or sports. But even then, they're missing out on some big moments.
It's a time in our lives where we're trying to define ourselves, trying to identify what direction we want to move in. And that's defined by the friends that we keep and the activities that we participate in. So when we're robbed of those experiences, those benchmarks aren't there. And without that structure and that anticipation of how the day is structured or how the year is going to be structured, that's a recipe for some anxiety for children.
When it comes to younger kids, they're still developing and learning communication skills.
If we lose that opportunity for children to have that richness of socialization, it's going to be a little harder for them to communicate in a free-flowing way.
So how do we deal with these challenges? Dr. Chico says get your child on a schedule and into a rhythm.
That structure, that sense of purpose is really a way to combat that uncertainty that this pandemic has left all of us. As long as we're able, in some small way, able to maintain some structure in our lives, then I think we're better off to fight that inherent anxiety that a lot of people have developed over time.
That includes making play dates, making sure your child isn't just on a school schedule but a social one, trying to interact with other students or neighbors as much as possible in fun, creative ways, like having a virtual lunch or a neighborhood art show. And since it is a rough time, look for warning signs like loss of appetite or mood swings to make sure your child is okay.